Okay, and just went through and did the full install. It's completed. Hit OK. And me, I usually like to do a reboot after a large install like that. But then I'm also going to go through and make sure I've got everything installed and the link to the actual interface. Okay, I got the server back up. And one of the things it runs on is Flash, and actually trying to battle with Internet Explorer and get Flash running is a little bit complex. It's just a pain. So I use Internet Explorer to go online and get Chrome. But you have to go to Server Manager first, and you want to disable the Internet Explorer security. Just turn it off. Make sure you set it as the default browser. And I paused through that so you'd have to watch the whole install. That's just closing my IE browser windows. And now when I open my software, it actually opens in the default browser. And just click through the SSL security warning. And this is vCenter, so as you saw through the install, the administrator at vsphere.local and the password. And that's the URL and default port. And you can access this remotely. You don't have to be on the server. And as you see, when I log in with my admin ID, I've already got access to the vCenter server. And so this gives me all the tools I need if I wanted to create a cluster and so forth. But this is just going to be a very basic view install, so I'm going to just create a data center. Let's give it a unique name from own personal preference. And the great thing is, as you click on through creating stuff and go to the item you just created, then you also get links to, add the host, which is the next step, and so on and so on. So put the IP address of my ES6i host. The root username and password I set up when I installed my ES6i host. Hit yes. And here you would actually assign a license key, and I don't have a license key for this software, so actually I should be selecting no license key. I do believe I end up having to go back and change that. Because the license key I do have is valid, it's just the free version that they hand out. So actually the ESXi host shows up as disconnected because I forgot to use either no license key, or I could actually use one from the trial software where I signed up. So I actually have to go through and re-add my host because I didn't select the correct license key. So my ESXi root username and password, accept, next, select the no license key, so the evaluation mode. And now when I hit finish, give it a couple moments, now it'll properly register my ESXi host under the data center that I created in vCenter. And it takes a little bit for everything to register correctly. And it gives me evaluation warning, and that's expected. But after a couple moments, it came up and is running just fine as expected. And so that's my basic setup of getting my vCenter up and running and registering my ESXi host. And there's the list of servers you've been seeing me working on. They're all virtual, running on the ESXi host I just registered. So what you're looking at right now on the top left corner is remote desktop software from Microsoft, and then within the window you see all my remote desktop sessions I have going with the vCenter installation. And I'm just going through looking at some of the different utilities that are available within vCenter that you don't have with the standard vSphere client software. And seeing it just registered, you're not seeing a full graph of everything. But their utilization and performance charting is pretty good in vCenter. There's also software called vCops, vCenter Operations Manager. But anyways, it works really good. So this is me actually using the client software. So originally I was using the web interface. Now this is the vSphere client, but I use the vSphere client to connect to my vCenter IP address. So now you can actually see my my data center and my host that's connected, and my different VMs that I've got installed and running. Okay, now what I did is I just spun up another server, and this is going to be my VMware View connection server. The View connection server is pretty much the core of VMware View. Yes, you can use the Composer and security servers, but you need for the core design is around the connection server. The VMware View administration is actually done on the connection server, and it's part of the connection server installation software. So I'm just going through and the basic settings and installing the connection server and recovery password. Think of like a Active Directory, recovery password concept. Not worried about Windows Firewall right now. I'm just turning that off. This is going to be an administrator account, and instead of using the account that I'm logged in with, I'm actually going to use the service account that I created in my last video. the vSphere's the view service account. So I wanted to match my logon name. And just taking most of the defaults and letting it run. And finish, and it's done. So yet again, the software basically runs on Flash when you open it up and get it running. So I yet again use Internet Explorer to download Chrome. And I paused it a couple times during the install. So now my default browser is Chrome. And I run the VMware view icon. And as you can see, I'm running off the localhost /admin /#. And here I'm going to log in, and VMware View does not accept the administrator at vSphere.local account. It is actually linked into your Active Directory. So the actual service account that I actually originally put in is what I log in with. The vService account that I created in my last video was an admin account that I logged into here with. And now you can see all the different things in the interface.